I wanted to say one last couple things here about antinatalism. Um, Mostly, I think what happens when a thinker comes to the idea of a antinatalist thinking that we should lie down and not, breed anymore, not procreate anymore, just so that we can end all the suffering and deprivation. When a thinker comes to that and thinks about what this means and the possibility of it and all this stuff, the possibility of the race dying out so that we can end suffering. I think it's like it comes to a thinker as like it's like a thing of nausea. It might cause a little fire under their ass for a little while. It might cause them to react for a while. I mean, I've noticed this only because of from what I've seen from others doing. I've seen other people on YouTube. I don't want to name names because I don't know if they will think this specifically, but they will. I've seen other people on YouTube just hear about this thing that is going on. Have some thoughts about it. Make a ton of videos about it, about suffering and deprivation and all this stuff, and then it will pass just like nausea. I'm feeling the same thing here. As a thinker, I don't know if I want to call myself a thinker because I'm not. I don't know how accomplished I've been in that field, but I feel like that's the same thing happened to me, where I grew to understand the idea of what the antinatalist wants to happen, and I kind of freaked out about it, and I wanted to get ready to refute this as much as possible, as much as I could, with every fiber of my being is what I wanted to do. But now it's kind of past it's like nausea, basically, because I'm kind of thinking about it, and I think we can just sit here and debate about this all day. We can sit here and debate about it all day, and yet the thing is, as well, thou art that Matt. He made a video as a response to a question he got, asking him to discuss the whole debate about antinatalism, and he discussed it to be impossible. The whole idea of this being impossible, meaning that the idea of procreation and birth is like a function that's woven into the universe. It's like a part of the universe that we really cannot take out. And I agree to this. I mean, I don't want to appeal to the whole thing about nature, saying that it's natural to procreate, therefore we should still do it. I don't want to appeal to that, because I do like the whole idea of about the antinatalists questioning the whole idea of what they think is nature. I like the idea of questioning things. We all need to question everything. We need to question the fact that whether what we see is actually real outside of ourselves or not. We need to question all these things. But like thou art that said, birth is something that is a part of the universe that we really cannot take out. And if we stop birth, then there's no universe, which is not really a possibility. And I think we can sit here and debate about this, about antinatalism, whether it can be proven or justified and all this stuff. We can sit here and talk about this for years. I think we talk about it for years, I think, but maybe not, but I think we talk about it for a long time and still not really get anywhere, because the truth about it is, even if we can have a justified standpoint, and even if the justified standpoint is on the antinatalist side, we are never ever going to get stop people to procreating. We're never going to stop people from making new conscious beings, regardless of how much the antinatalist population grows, and wants to end suffering and deprivation. You all are never ever going to get people to stop breeding. We're never going to stop people from breeding here, which is like a place where there's a less amount of suffering, where there's a lot of most people who live in the U.S. are well off people, but even in Africa, where people are starving, dying of thirst, dying of AIDS, dying of unclean water, dying of all these things that are suffering, even those people, you are not going to get them to stop procreating. They will keep making new children. Even the people who suffer the most in this world, the people who know people who suffer the most in this world, will not ever stop procreating. So this whole debate is no longer really of much interest to me anymore, I guess. So this is basically going to be my last video talking about deprivation and suffering with respect to antinatalism. I might say something about, dread or despair, other existentialist themes, but this is going to be my last thing about antinatalism, because I feel it is an impossible. The whole premise of about antinatalism is not plausible, which is why, to a thinker, the whole idea of it passes. It comes, and then it passes just like nausea. So yeah, I wanted to say that, you guys can, all you antinatalists can talk about it all day, but you're never ever going to make it happen. You're never going to get stopped. You're never going to stop people from making new kids. It's never ever going to happen.